Here at the Bulldogs, Mitch Honeychurch, and Mitch Honeychurch is, well, he's the main one.
That's my favourite.
Now, this is the best of the year so far. So we've got about 5 to get through tonight. Now, Daisy Pearce, a great addition to the Channel 7 commentary team this year. Had her work cut out, though, with Clayton Oliver. Have a listen to this.
How do you block that out and then come out here and play good footy like you did today?
You sort of just listen to in the four squares of the other club.
Say that again.
God, no, he's top that. Now, Michael Hibberd, we found out during the year that he's not a football historian. Have a listen to this.
I wanted a bit of a lower number. 43 was getting a bit heavy on my back. So, yeah, I went for the number 1 and...
Makes what Sean Wren did look remarkable with 52 on his back.
No idea who Sean Wren is.
Say that again.
Brian Lake, he was a new member of the commentary team too for Fox. Have a listen to him. He's got a couple of nominations in here. Here's the first one from Brian.
That's what's been impressive so far today. That's their 21-mark contested mark compared to the Crows' 8.
Say that again.
He went with the 21th, and then he went with Don Pike. Have a listen to the way that he just rounds out this interview.
Yeah, make sure that we use our extra appropriately.
Thanks, Don. Let you back up to the box.
Thanks, mate.
And then the uncomfortable answer.
Our very own Richo has been in awesome foursome form. Have a listen to him.
Yeah, it's obviously his lower right leg.
Say that again.
And he had trouble too with the debutant. Have a listen to this one.
Yeah, it's a tough one for him. They've debuted 10 debuted. What am I saying, Baz? 10 of them they've had.
Say that again.
And we've seen Nathan Brown once tonight. Let's have another look at some of his fine work this year.
Melbourne, St Kilda, all the money has been for the Demons in this one.
Say that again.
And Das and Richo had a little bit of trouble with this Irish bloke one night too post-game. Have a listen to this.
Try different stuff in kicks. We try inside of the boot, outside of the boot, so we're trying not afraid to take risks and stuff. So it's just coming from kicking from 3-year old, 4-year old, so just kick it up quick, more or less. So.
Say that again.
Did not understand. I think he said Conor McGregor at some stage. That was the only thing.
And this is a bit of Das, our very own Luke Darcy from the archives.
What about 3 and made the point, Jared Rivers? He's had his splint shit open. Sorry, let me start again.
Say that again.
That's going a long way back. Let's go back into the archives and a little bit of our own Wispy. What's it?
Well, coming up after the break, we'll catch up with Demon coach.
We got a party going on in the
Say that again.
That is the biggest freezer of all time.
No, it wasn't a freezer.
That's the best one.
I just forgot his name. That was Greg Hutchison. I just forgot his name. And he's sitting there.
Over to Tim Watson.
Well, sadly, it is Say That Again for the final time, but we are doing the best of Say That Again for the season. We've got 13 great nominations.
Jason Bennett is just around the corner and he has Zane Dorco.
I love that. You love that, don't you? OK, well, BT, he was nominated a few times, so he's going to kick us off tonight.
And he's got a nice little blonde twirl in the front of that.
Separate 1 metre.
Buffoon.
Say that again.
even Bruce, even BT got the better of Bruce. Have a listen to this.
It's actually
Pushing through the contest.
Fanya, like lasagna. I've been told, he told me before the game. Okay. I just remembered. Gian Fanya.
Thank you, BT.
Say that again.
Tim Kelly, the Geelong player, has had a mighty season. We don't know where he's going to play next year, but his partner will never, ever forget this year's Mother's Day.
Did the boys get mum something today?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, got a little. She can go treat herself. Got some laser hair removal treatments. A couple of sessions there.
Say that again.
Now, we stepped outside. We stepped outside the boundary of AFL football occasionally. We went to Canberra. This is Pauline Hanson.
I haven't flip-flopped. I said no originally, then I said yes, then I have said no, and I've stuck to it.
Say that again.
No, she hasn't flip-flop. We love the fans. One St Kilda fan wasn't happy with how his team was playing, though, in Townsville during the season.
What the hell was that? Bloody hot here, mate. We're not here to watch that shit.
Say that again.
Now, the audio mics can pick up some strange things from time to time. Listen very closely to this at a VFL game.
Markhorn, who just works so hard defensively, taken high by Tate Short.
Say that
again. Stevie J hasn't forgotten this encounter with Tony Jones.
Let's go live now to the SCG. We're joined by Sydney assistant Stevie Johnson. Steve, look, finals, it's not Stevie Johnson, it's Stewie Jew. No, it's not. It is Stevie Johnson. Sorry, mate.
Say that again.
Can't you remember that one, Dave?
Stewie Jew.
It doesn't look like Stewie Jew at all. Now, Matthew Lloyd, who's had a great year in the media. We love Lloydie, but here's Lloydie just running through the GWS leadership group.
Okay, let's take a look at their leadership group and the guys who didn't play yesterday. And they had no Kelly on the left, Callum Ward, second to the left, Phil Davis, Steve Canilio. And, I'm not sure the other one, but in terms of their...
Say that again.
That is Matty de Boer, by the way. You should know him. He's the final series. Now, Duck, it can get very, very cold down there in Tassie. We all know that. Just ask David King.
But, boy, do they need it, the Hawks, in this fourth term.
Say that again.
His mouth. I'm not sure what happened to Alistair Lynch, so have a listen to Lynchy.
And what was the reaction like when it started snowing in the first quarter?
Thanks, Ed. Yes, it's incredible. And this is...
Say that again.
Now, that cold weather during the year had an effect on a lot of us, including Lingy up there in Canberra, as he introduced a new Hawthorn player.
Let's get down to ground level. Daisy Pearce has got the family of the Hawks debutant, Chunkwath Jath.
Say that again.
You all right, mate?
This is the best.
And Mark Robbo, he gave us dozens of nominations this year, but his list of zingers included this.
Why are players whitening their hair? Why? Where?
Say that again.
And finally, Dipper. We all love Dipper. Yeah, let's put it out there. We all love Dipper. He was back behind the mic for the EJ Witten game and delivered some of his finest.
We've got Seamus here and the boy. You rocked it tonight, guys. Everything was whoopie. How did you...
Say that again.
It says Campbell Brown with... Say that again.
Now it's time for...
Lucky here at the Bulldogs. Mitch Honeychurch, and Mitch Honeychurch is, well, he's the main one.
Jack Higgins took the Brownlow medal by storm. I've got a feeling we're going to be seeing a fair bit of this man over the years.
Firstly, my heart's pumping 1,000 minutes per second, so...
Say that again.
Brilliant, isn't he? He's just absolutely... Every week.
Great character.
Yeah, he certainly is. Mason Cox is still learning the Aussie lingo. Let's have a listen.
Collingwood fans would know all about this one. Finish this sentence. You're going home in the back of a...
Hopefully a cab.
Say that again.
I'm tipping there might be a few Collingwood supporters going home in the back of a divvy van if they get up this weekend. We have the weatherman, Wayne Bunn. Let's have a listen to his description at the SCG earlier in the year.
Absolute perfect conditions. Not a breath of fresh air here.
Say that again.
I'm not finished with it yet. We all sit in our ivory towers. I'm not sure where Duck sits.
I mean, we do. We sit in our ivory boxes and we judge very quickly.
Say that again.
You are the master. President Macron must have had Bruce McAvaney writing his presidential speeches.
Thank you for your welcome. Thank you and your delicious wife for your warm welcome.
Say that again.
I like that. Delicious, delicious. BT, when St Kilda play, there's always a lot of jacks.
Plenty of jacks about the place this afternoon.
Always lots when you have a St Kilda game. I think there was 7 in one game last year, which was an extraordinary jack-off.
This is my favourite, Das. You can tell you don't leave the leafy suburbs of Melbourne very often.
Hawthorn will be looking to bounce back from last week's shock loss when they host the Saints in Launceston tonight. Seven's Luke Darcy is there.
Thanks, Michael. Coming to you live from Launceston in Hobart tonight.
Say that again.
Trying to welcome the whole
bad.
Oh, that's not right, is it?
That's right. And Cam Mooney, I'm not even sure what this is.
An inside 50 count for you guys, but you're just probably not putting it on the board.
Yeah, it's tough work, tough.
Doing well, mate. Congratulations.
Say that again.
I've been very nervous filling the seat for one of our very, very best, and no one was better than Wispy Watson.
Well, coming up after the break, we'll catch up with Demon Coach.
We got a party going on in here.
I hope I've done him justice.
That is our Hall of Fame winner, and